Good afternoon. Thank you very much for the introduction, and thank you all for coming here to attending this new roundtable. Under the title of the Golden Mile Luxury Shopping, we are going to share some very interesting experiences around this phenomenon that is Madrid as an emerging actor of luxury business. My name is Jorge Alcalde. I am editor-in-chief of Esquire magazine here in Spain. And during the last 15 years, Esquire has been reporting about new trends in luxury experience: fashion, cars, restaurants, travel, events, anything. Everything under the umbrella of what we used to call luxury lifestyle or premium lifestyle. Our readers are the best representation of a generation of what we call hedonistics with values. So it's high-level consumers compromise with their world. People as interested in great restaurants and fashion brands as they are in the reality of their own world, the reality of global warming, the crisis of young education, or the pursuit of a real gender equality, for example. Hedonistics, but with values. And during these 15 years, we have covered thousands of trends in luxury market. And I have to say that, sadly, we have traveled abroad to do this. We have covered them from the distance. We traveled to Paris, to Milan, to London, to New York, searching for the best stories to be told. But in recent years, we have started to focus in something that is happening here, at home, in Madrid. A new and unstoppable movement started to flourish here as the emergence of a city with the capability of competing with Milan, Paris, London, New York in the luxury environment. So now we can say that Esquire Spain is one of the most prominent editions all around the world. We have dozens of editions all around the world, and that our colleagues are coming to Madrid to research what is happening here in this incredible city. So to talk about this evolution and to say, to reach if it is true or it is just a perception, as we as a media have, I have the pleasure to introduce you three authentic experts in this subject. We have Beatriz Nicolás. She is founder of Beni room, a reference in multi-brand fashion stores in Spain. Thank you, Beatriz.
Gracias. Thank
We
you.
have César Glaría. He is marketing director of Galería Canalejas and perhaps one of the figureheads of the Madrid ignition as a luxury destiny. Thank you, César.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we have Dimas, Gimeno, CEO of WOW Concept Stories, one of the most exciting new adventures in Madrid. Thank you. So to start with the first and obvious question, Madrid is blooming as a luxury destiny. I think this point is something that all of we can endorse. Do you have the same perception? Are your experience in your business the same? Beatriz, for example?
I had stores since 20 years ago, and we always had some tourists in Spain for sure. But this year, since after COVID, I experienced a huge amount of difference between now and before. Right now, we have a lot of tourists from Latin America, a lot, mainly in the Barrio Salamanca area, because I know, for example, in the area where the Four Seasons is, which is, they have more American tourists. But this year, I have experienced 70% more of tourists in my stores. I think this is a huge opportunity for us, and that we can do, there are many things to be done yet. But I think it's a huge opportunity for us because people that come for tourists, they want to spend their money. They are looking for new things. For example, in my stores, we not only have international brands, we also have many Spanish brands. And many tourists come now and ask for Spanish brands, but now they are here, they want to to know the best brands, and because they don't know the brands from Spain, they come to multi-brand stores like ours, and they ask for it. So I think it's a huge opportunity, and that right now, tourists in Spain is being better than ever. Now in September, I noticed also that there are a little bit less than in May and June, but since after March, since the springtime, it's a huge amount of tourists, much more than before. And also, the tourists that we have now are better tourists. Not better tourists, but tourists that like to spend more money in our business. So for us, are better.
So this is a chat, so please don't wait. You get to
Yeah,
interact
for sure.
and raise the hand. And
I think we all agree in this roundtable that is the moment of Madrid. Madrid is not only blooming, it is booming. We have all the ingredients in Madrid. We have great culture. We have, I would say, the three of the best museums in Europe, 5 minutes away, one from the other. We have the gastronomy that represents not only the gastronomy in our country, but the fashion, the Asian, Mexican, the best gastronomy in one of the best gastronomies in Europe. We have accommodation, new luxury accommodation that is arriving in town, the Four Seasons Hotel, the Edition, the JW, Mandarin Oriental, and now we have new concepts such as wow concept, such as Galería, Canalejas, that are also bringing this new luxury area in town. So yeah, Madrid, we, in our name, we are called Galería Canalejas Madrid. You cannot imagine how proud we are to have this Madrid as a surname of our brand. It is the moment of Madrid, it is.
one of the most difficult answers in the world, it was first, the chicken of the egg. So, what was first? Madrid was the destiny of a new kind of tourism, and then Madrid bloomed, or has been the change in Madrid infrastructure, in Madrid hotels, that has led to a new beginning of new tourism?
I see that the difficult question is for me, right? Well, it's clearly a mix of things. I think that we all, people that lives in Madrid, we understood a long time ago that there was a need of something different in Madrid in order to really compete with the cities that you just mentioned. It seems like Madrid has been like in the second division, and now it is we are experiencing how this city is really getting in the Premier League. And why is that? I think it's a mix of obviously bringing to the table the unique things that Madrid has already, and I think that you've just mentioned some of those, the amazing cultural of the food, the infrastructures, the connections, everything. And it's a fun city. I mean, everybody comes here to have fun, which is also very, it's highly appreciated. But something was missing. I think that the big effort that projects like Galería Canalejas, Four Seasons, Mandarin, and the rest of the big hotels that are coming here are really putting Madrid in another level. So I think that's why we're starting to see different things. And also, and from WOW, we've been experiencing how also another kind of new tourist is coming. And I think it has a little bit to do with the excellent work that the Comunidad of Madrid did during the pandemic. Because while the rest of the cities were closed, many Europeans, especially young Europeans and with highly standards of luxury and understanding the tendencies, they really took the time to come here because it was probably the only place to go, and they discovered Madrid. And I can see that these kind of new, young tourists they like what they see, and I think they're spreading the word. So it is clearly a big opportunity of getting all the things that Madrid has already, but also getting this new opportunity, like these new infrastructures, hotels, and big opportunities that are really booming now, and makes probably Madrid one of the best cities right now in Europe to invest.
Great. Later on, we are going to talk about the administration rule, the local authorities, the city council and the Comunidad de Madrid, and what they have made. But you have mentioned the Premier League. So to put it things clear. We have here an audience from all around the world, so we could say that the typical axis, Paris, London, Milan, New York, is going to have soon another friend, another name, Madrid?
We hope so. There is a lot to be done, I think. Today, for example, I was talking to César, and you go to London or you go to Paris or to Milan, and you can find different areas in which you can find luxury stores. In Madrid before, you only had one, okay? Now with Galería Canalejas, you have two. So now we have two different places where you can go and buy luxury products. So if we give more offer, more people will come, and more people will like to come to Madrid. But if we only have one little one that we had before with El Barrio Salamanca, it's more difficult. I think there are a lot of things to done, and also the community of Madrid has to work on it and help us that Madrid becomes bigger. But I think right now, Madrid is, for example, becoming the capital of the Latin American people in Europe. Okay, so that's a very good thing for us. And I also experienced that in the, like you said before, after COVID, many people young people from Europe that they couldn't get out, came to Madrid. And those people are coming, many people from France, from the north of Europe. Yep. We experienced that too.
I will say that Milan, Madrid, Milan, Paris, London, and Madrid. I would say not yet, but it will come. Yeah. It will come. Creating, in our case, we are, for those who are not really into Galería Canalejas, we are really creating a new area in Madrid, downtown for luxury. Exactly. It does not mean that when Four Seasons come to Madrid, first Four Seasons hotel in Spain, that they are going to open their doors and from one day to the other, this is a new Golden Mile, this is the new space for luxury in Madrid. No, it takes time. But as I was saying with all this ingredient, as he was saying about this magnificent uniqueness that has Madrid, we will be there.
But it's the start, at least it's the start.
Yeah. But I totally agree with them that there is a lot of work to do. I mean, we are in a very interesting position to see this upgrade coming, but it's true that also many of us are really betting on creating this new zone that obviously, as you were saying, Madrid needs. I mean, only having Serrano, Barrio Salamanca is simply not enough. I mean, when you really want to be part of those big cities and be part of the circuit, you need to really understand what other cities have and what you are missing. And clearly, it's like I like the example of the Rive Gauche and Rive Droit in Paris, where you have the Sena, which is really creating two areas where you have this more consolidated luxury area, but then you have this other more trendy, but also luxury understood in another way, much like younger. And I think that's something that we could imagine, like Castellana being the river, and really making these two areas that are connected, and they can work very, very nicely together. And the good thing about Gran Via is, and I can bet all the audience right now here that what you see today now, in 2 years' time, you won't recognize, because everything is changing in such a big pace. We have Chueca, we have Fuencarral, we have all these trendy areas that sometimes you, as people that lives in Madrid, there are areas that I didn't know that I'm discovering right now, that sometimes you think you are on in the Sacré-Cœur or in these areas that are the Soho areas. No? So in Madrid. So we are on the right path, but there is a lot of work to do, and I think that it's probably the private companies that are probably a little bit crazy like us, but also with the help of the public authorities, we will make it happen.
Yeah. At the end, I think it is just thinking, is there more space for luxury in Madrid? Definitely there is. And you know what happens with all the brands we're working with? We have opening Louis Vuitton, Jimmy Choo, Hermes, Valentino, Rolex, Omega. They always came from the beginning saying, I want to be downtown. It is great. There is a classic golden mile in Madrid, which is Barrio Salamanca, Serrano.
And some of them are already in the other part of Madrid. So.
Yeah, but I want to be downtown. And this is what it is happening in all these cities we were talking about, in London, in Milan. La Galeria Vittorio Emanuele, it's in Piazza Duomo. Yes. Harrods, La Samaritaine, all these luxury department stores, they are downtown. So Madrid is constructing all this new golden mile.
You see the tourists that when they go downtown, for them it's like an amusement park. You know, it's Gran Via Street and all the areas, they're so beautiful. Those amazing buildings. So that's why the tourists want to go to downtown. Why do they have to go to probably just one area when you can really go and look at the magnificent buildings and really enjoy what Madrid has to offer us as a story with that history? So I think that it makes a lot of sense what you're saying.
You have mentioned brands, and all of you work with high-end brands, and me as an editor-in-chief of Esquire used to talk with international brands too. So I know how difficult it has been to transmit them that Madrid is changing. Madrid, after all, was, let's say, a secondary market for more of them because of the situation of the Spanish economy and the situation of Spain. But now things are changing. But I don't know how they are accepting, how are they reacting when you go to them and tell this story. How are they curious? Are they skeptical? Are they betting for us? How are they managing?
In our case, it was. I think it was one of the most beautiful things to see. Talking one day to Hamas, and they were so brave. They said from the beginning, we are confident with this project. We are confident with Madrid. We are confident with this new Golden Mile. I want the best space from one day to another. Okay, I'm going. Then you talk with Cartier, and they're also such a brave company, and they really believed in the project from the beginning. Whether there is other brands which I will not mention, they will just stay, wait, tell you, call me again once you are that, once you're that Golden Mile, call me again. And the thing is that, for example, right now in our ground floor, we do not have space for more first-level brands. But yeah, it was very beautiful to see all these brands. Some of them are courageous and very brave, and others, well, it also depends in these big macro luxury groups.
It depends on the brands.
Yeah, it depends on the brands, it depends on the confidence, and it depends also in the time when we opened. We opened right in the pandemic. It was not easy. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of brands were about to sign, but then pandemic arrived, and they decided to wait a little bit.
But I think that's the nature of brands. I mean, if we make a little bit of history, Serrano was not easy. I mean, Serrano had it began, and obviously you had these 2 or 3 courageous brands that started, and then they came the followers. And then all this process really, with the time, really created the momentum and the circumstances to really the followers go and consolidate the area. I think now we are experiencing something like that with this area. But the truth is that when you talk to any brand of Gran Via, they say, tell me more. I mean, everybody is really interested on this new area, on the downtown area. Probably that becomes, I mean, it depends on the moment, the circumstances, also the situation of the brand. I mean, not all the brands are really have expansion plans that are different, but it's going to come, and it's really happening. And it's amazing how sometimes you see that brands that are already on Serrano, you know, I want to go to, I also want to be in Gran Via because there's an absolutely different tourist there. This is something very important. I mean, when we talk about tourists in Madrid, we think that there is one tourist and that's it. No, I mean, there are many different kinds of tourists, and normally they don't behave the same. So understanding them, where they are, what they want, and really getting what they're really looking for, it makes sense. And probably what you have in Gran Via, it doesn't really have to go to Serrano or Barrio Salamanca or the other way around.
It's very different tourist from Gran Via and the one in Barrio Salamanca. They are very different.
Very different.
I will ask you to take the opportunity to talk about yourself now and about your projects. Okay? If there is someone in the audience that don't know your project, unbelievably, they must know it, but okay, take the opportunity to express what are you doing and which are the two challenges are you facing for the next pair of years in what you are doing in your projects. For example, Beatriz.
For us, the challenge is to grow. We want to grow. We want to, for example, I was talking to César before, that one of the things that we want to do also is to open a store in your area. We are not as big as those brands that we're talking about, so we want to wait a little bit to see how it's working, because only the big ones, like it could be Galería, Canalejas, or WOW, can do something like this, you know. But we want to grow, and we want to grow in Madrid. We want to grow in Madrid. We want to open one store there. We're looking, there is another area now which is becoming important as well, which is in the north area of Madrid, which is where the IE, Instituto de Empresa, is opening. They are opening many stores over there. Have you heard about it? And we're looking to that area as well. It's more local. It's not that tourist, because it's an area which is in Plaza Castilla, which is not so tourist. It's more local, but we think that will be a challenge also to open there. And also a challenge for us is to open in other places in Spain. We want to open in Bilbao, we want to open in Marbella, we want to see Lisboa. But for us, the biggest challenge is to grow right now.
So what is Galería Canalejas? Just to describe that, it is, we call it as the new international luxury icon in the heart of Madrid. It is 15,000 square meters. We have 3 floors. We have 30 luxury boutiques. We have this complete 360 experience for the customer. We have 13 restaurants, from a little cafe to Michelin star restaurants with Julián Mármol, who's very well known. We have all these luxury brands opening in our mall, luxury department store, the way we want to call it. But one of the most important things is, apart from being right in the heart of Madrid, it is that we are built in 7 historical buildings that are all national heritage from 1891, and they all belong to the, let's say, to the best banks in our financial history. Banco Español de Crédito, Banco Hispanoamericano, Banco Zaragozano. All these buildings are investors. They invest more than 600 million euros renovating all these buildings and giving them back life now in the form of a Four Seasons hotel and then of Galería Canalejas.
And all the area has changed, or is changing because of your presence now.
Well, because of our
presence. You have converted the heart of the city in a new thing. No?
Completely.
Yeah. But again, I think it is not us just doing it. We have the Addition, we have JW, we have a lot of different, in this
the hotels,
area.
Wow, the Four Seasons.
Hotels. We are, at the end, we are all united. We're all together, like in this round table, because we are all making this new Madrid.
What is WOW?
What is WOW?
That's a good question. Well, no, I'm joking. WOW is a unique project that has, I think, 2 elements that make it really different. One is what we sell, and the other thing is how we sell it. What we sell brands, but we always try to find brands that are new. I mean, the concept of really discovering something new. We want them to be unique, whether they are exclusive with us or at least not easy to find. And also in tendency. I mean, they really need to have this fashion component that makes them really, that everybody wants them. Where we gather them, we like to say that we look for digital native vertical brands, that they are really exploding now on the internet, but also with the younger generations. And for the first time, they're looking also to go to physical, which is very important. So we are talking with them and giving them that opportunity, which is working really nicely. But this is not enough. We also need to find the traditional and the, let's say, more aspirational brands that really mix with these younger ones. And what is happening is that they also want to be in this project because they are looking to engage exactly the audiences that the digital ones have. So at the end of the day, we're really a mix. I mean, we help them to get together. Whether there are digital brands that get to connect it to the physical, or there are more physical brands that want to connect it with the digital ones because of the audiences. But we always ask them to come in a different way, and they obviously understand that they don't want to establish their corner or their traditional shop, which is maybe pop-up system or really creating experiences just for us. This is what we sell, and lifestyle. You said it before, a little bit. Well, lots of fashion, electronics, home,
Cosmetics.
and cosmetics, and also a beautiful restaurant that we're going to open soon. Hopefully. We plan to do it at the end of this month, which is really want to make a difference in the city. So two floors of restaurant that is going to be really unique. This is what we sell. How we sell it. We have the positive thing of really being able to rebuild the experience of buying and really mixing digital and physical in the same place. When you do this from scratch, you can really make it happen, to really have no friction between an operation that comes from physical and then extends to the digital, or the other way around. Something you start buying on the digital and then you extend it to the physical. No? I think that we call phygital, and it's really getting this momentum, is something that we are convinced that we're really doing it in a very unique way, and it has lots of profits that I'm not going to tell here because we don't have time. But it really makes that younger and not that younger generations mix together, because you really find what these different generations are really looking for.
This mixture of physical and digital is very interesting now. And each of you has different experiences with digital marketing, I suppose. Perhaps the extreme is wow, because it is exactly the same place in which you can buy something physically or digitally in yet one experience. How are you managing this digital blooming too in your sector?
I didn't say before what is exactly Beni Room. Beni Room is a multi-brand store only for women. We sell brands from all over the world, and we have Ralph Lauren, for example, from USA, and we have many brands from Spain. We have like the best dressy dresses brands from Spain. And 90% of our clients are Spanish. So we have now, each day we have more tourists, but we have a big clients that are Spanish and that they like our products and that come every day to buy new dresses and new things. Therefore, because we sell a lot of dresses, the market for internet is not so big. So we sell on internet, we have the beniroom.com, and we sell, but we don't sell that much. Because, for example, when you ask about internet sales, the internet sales, usually, they sell better calzado, shoes, boots, T-shirts. But when you go to a dress for women, the dresses change it very much, the sizes between one brand and the other. So, for example, in my store, I have brands from USA, from Paris, from France, from Spain, and the same person can have 138 in one size, 140 in another brand. So it's very difficult to buy through internet. So we are selling through internet, but it's not our big thing for our business. I think for their business is much better. I think WoW, for example, is that you have a lot of internet things.
Yes,
even in the store, you can sell it in the store.
I think it has a lot to do with how you were conceived. I mean, you said you have more than 20 years, no, on the market.
Yes.
So obviously, these brands that they have this history, obviously they have to do the journey from physical to digital, and it's not easy, but they make it happen. The good thing about us is that we were designed from the very beginning from a marketplace that has the stores that work for the marketplace. I mean, that really makes the difference, because if not, there will always going to be a problem of really connecting both worlds. Probably that is what it makes us pretty unique, no? And really being able to mix those worlds with no friction at all.
I guess, César, that in Galería Canalejas, the digital experience is more challenging. Perhaps I'm wrong, but the first thing you have in mind when you see Galería Canalejas is that you want to walk around and touch the building, this national heritage, and smell the store that is incredibly well designed. So how do you put into the equation the digital experience?
We are not an e-commerce. We are not a marketplace. We don't sell online, but we are definitely digital in terms of communication, in terms of engaging our customers, in terms of everything. And it is not talking just about Galería Canalejas. The other day I was with a friend. I don't know, you're not digital in Galería Canalejas. And I said, what? Is this a joke? Yes, I'm not selling online, which will come. Maybe in 4 years we are these Harrods or these Galeries Lafayette or these La Samaritaine. It will come. It will come. But no, for the moment we are not. We are not selling online. But of course, the way we communicate with our client today, it could not be other than digital. So all our campaigns, all our advertising, apart from traditional media, blah, blah, blah. But yes, we do find them online. So yes, it is key to complete your experience from the physical, where you have to come, you have to eat at our restaurants, you have to buy your Valentino or your Louis Vuitton at our store. If you want to see our national heritage, I don't know, all these historic pieces that we have restored, you have to come and see. But the way we are communicating, the way we are making this dialogue, is definitely online.
So let's talk about consumers, because it's changing a lot the way people is approaching luxury too. We all have good stories about how some brands are training their staffs in the stores to identify who is a good client today. Because in a few decades ago, perhaps we don't have a good picture of who could be a man or a woman that could go to Cartier or Prada or Gucci, and they have a profile very, very well established. But today, perhaps a young couple of men and women with denim and a cap and a bag, very, 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 very fashion, very young, could be the client today, the people who is now our subject. So how are your experiences changing in the profile of clients? Who can start?
If you are talking about the way they are dressed, I mean, that right now you cannot look at a person and think that they maybe won't buy or won't be a good client because of the way they are dressed. Because nowadays the people go in joggings, and it doesn't have to have a huge logo here for you to think that they are going to be a good client. So in that way, I don't think that you can tell these people yes and these people no. I think right now in Madrid, the tourists are much better. Right now, in the area where I am, which is El Barrio de Salamanca, they are looking, and when they enter the store, they know what they want. So I think we have to talk to them and treat them all of the same way. And what I find is that the clients and the tourists that we have now are much more quality-oriented. So they want quality, they want brands as well, but they mainly want quality, you know? So when they look for, because they buy an Hermes bag, it's not only because of the brand, that also is as well because of the brand, but because of the quality of the bags and the quality of the things. So I think that right now in Madrid, we are experiencing this booming in bigger and better clients for our stores.
I mean, I come from a school that everyone is a good client.
Claro.
You never, I mean, a good seller, a good sales people, I mean, never should judge someone by the way it is dressed or the whatever kind of.
Exactly.
It is true now that I agree totally that you find the younger generation people that are dressed very trendy, and you would say these young, and probably they have a huge amount of purchase capacity. So probably now you are discovering these new millennials and Gen Zs that are really, they come from all over the world, and they are willing to spend if they find what they want. So probably it's the worst time to make this kind of judgment when you find a client. The client is always good.
Yeah, I think our doors are always open, and all those old cliches from luxury are already past.
Done.
Of course, there is a new luxury client. Are we prepared to receive all these luxury customers that still just travel on private jets? Yeah, they exist. Are there still people who only drive limousines? Yes, they are. Are we prepared to receive them? Yes, of course we are. But at the end, our doors are just open to anyone. In our case, well, we have one thing in our office. It isn't. Don't call them clients. Don't call them customers. Call them visitors. It is just the doors are open. If you want to come, see, have a coffee, and go, you're more than welcome. If you're coming to buy 15,000 Louis Vuitton bag, you're more than welcome. So I mean, everybody's welcome.
All clients are welcome, always.
Yeah, that's it. This is what he was saying.
The problem perhaps is how to reach them. So of course, if the client is changing or the visitor is changing, you have to use new channels to find them. So it is not the traditional way to reach the client, the traditional promotion, the traditional media, the traditional advertisement. So I guess you are all changing too the way you reach this new generation of luxury purchasers. You know?
I was talking last week with someone that knows pretty well the travel market and the tourist market, and he told me that the tourist that is coming now after the COVID-19 is absolutely different. I mean, it has changed. So I guess it's really about understanding these new tourists and what they want and how to reach it and really offer different things. I mean, if you try to do the same business that you did before the same way, it's simply not going to happen. So it's understanding that now you have to be fully digital, at least the way you approach, because there is an obvious break between two kinds of big generations. We have the migrants that are digital immigrants, like probably us in this round table, that we mix our analogic way of understanding life. We watch TV, we read newspapers, we listen to the radio, but we also like social media, and we have our LinkedIn, and we have our Instagram. And, well, we live like this. But then I see my kids. I see my bigger son. He's 15 right now. And he only sees the world through Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and ignores absolutely the other kinds of ways of watching the world through. So understanding this situation, and sometimes we like to say, well, these are younger, these are not. No, we're talking about 30 years from down. It happens, for example, with the kind of brands. These kind of generations, they are really disappointed of not going to the shops because they don't find the brands that they see on Instagram. So that is also another big opportunity to really, why these younger generations, they don't go to the stores, the physical stores, probably because not all of them, but they don't find the brands that they are mainly on the Instagram side. So understanding this, and it's not easy because you have to have a marketing approach and a communication approach to two kinds of groups that they behave absolutely different, and the tools are different. So you really need to make sure that you are working with the right strategy to really understand this kind of tourists and what they want.
Just as an example, right now we have, at the same time, just because of this conversation, I'm remembering this. At this time, we are having a media campaign in radio, which for him will sound like crazy for your audience, maybe. But we're at the same time in the radio, Cadena Ser, Herrera, every single morning from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. We are having there an advertising campaign. And at the same time, just last weekend, we made a beautiful event with Valentino in outside Galería Canalejas, just in the Canalejas Square. That was all digital, all dedicated to, with a QR, you make your selfie, you post, you gain, all these followers.
Instagram,
So it's
TikTok.
curious. At the same time, we're doing the radio, which could be one of the most traditional, let's say, media, and all this new campaign for, the social media, blah, blah.
And what is the result of this in your experience as marketing director? Do you have two different kinds of visitors? Or you are opening more, making wider your reach? Which is the result of this mixture of media?
Yeah, the first question when you work for marketing, which is who is your target? In our case, in Galería Canalejas, we have a very different target between luxury brands and, I would say, the food hall. We have 30 different restaurants. So it is very different, one thing to the other. So the result is that, or the objective is that we really need to reach all of these customers, that they are not just, it will be very easy if it is just luxury. Okay, go to the luxury hotels, well, which we do, go to the golf stadiums, blah, 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 do things only for luxury, but this is not my case. We need to reach a very different customer, because, as I said before, if you're just coming to have a coffee, you will be paying €2.50 with a beautiful gâteau or something, you're very welcome. Same thing as if you're coming to buy this crocodile Louis Vuitton bag.
So we are reaching the end. We have just 2 minutes for a very, very quick round, very, very quick answers about your expectations for the next 2-3 years. Most of your business, more of your new ideas were conceived before the pandemic. Then the pandemic came and everything changed. And now you have experience enough to forecast what is going to happen in the next 2 years. So just in a minute, each of you, what are you expecting for the next couple of years?
And I think, from my point of view, we're going to grow. The tourist in Spain is going to grow a lot. There's a lot of work to be done, especially in Spain. We have a lot of problems with the clients that we have from Spain because, what happened with the lights, all these things that are happening right now in the community of Madrid, for example, people get scared. So the people from Madrid, from Spain, the local people are scared and they are buying less. But the tourists are buying more. They are coming to Madrid because Madrid is booming, because of all the things that we said before. And I think it's going to be very positive in terms of tourists, and I think it will be slowly in terms of local people. I think that imagine if in January, more of the things that we have now, the problems we have with the lights and everything with the gas, they are the government gives good solutions. People right now, what they want is to go out, to have fun, to go to restaurants, so people want to go out, but they are a little bit scared because of the things that are happening. If government finds some things, some solutions for all of this, I think from after January, it will be very good as well for the local people. And right now, for the tourist people, I think in the 2 years it will be very good. It's becoming very good now. So since May, I noticed a 70% more of sales just of tourists, of people from Latin America or from the north of Europe.
Just very briefly, your forecast?
Yeah, very quickly. I think we could resume it as we were a promise, now we are real. And we will be certainly that new golden mile in the heart of Madrid.
Thank you.
I totally agree. I think it's happening. There is no reason why this should stop, but we have a lot of work to do to consolidate all these things that we said today. And if we continue betting on the private sector, doing lots of investments here, helped by the public sector that is really helping that happen, we will make it happen, and I think we can have magnificent years coming on in the future.
So thank you very much, Dimas, César, Beatriz. I invite you to make 4 things now. First of all, if you don't know them, know the experience in Beni Room, know Galería Canalejas, and visit WOW in Gran Via. You are going to enjoy it. And the 4th thing is to enjoy the next Nespresso break that we have all together now, and we can chat in there. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.